Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with Prem, who has joined us for today video podcast. Prem is a seasoned supply chain operations manager with over 7 years of experience in this industry, and Prem has worked with some of the biggest names in the business, and he has a proven track record of delivering results in even in the most complex and challenging supply chain environments. So throughout our conversations today, we will be driving deep into the Prem's insights and experiences and gaining valuable insights how to succeed in this dynamic and ever-changing field. So without further delay, let's welcome Prem to our video podcast. Hi Prem, thanks for joining us for today. Welcome.
Hey Shravan, good evening. Thank you.
Very good day. So Prem, I'll set up the context for the audience, like how this session will be taking care and what they can expect out of the session. So hi all. Once again, this session I planned in such a way to most benefit to the viewers who have been joined to look into this. So mostly I'm going to talk about Prem's background with about his role and his personal experiences, especially in the supply chain management. Since he is a operational manager in supply chain, I'm going to look into or ask him about his personal experiences, how he is going to manage between operations of a technical lead, along with it, how he is going to manage from the people standpoint. So along with it, since you have experience in logistics also, so I'm going to touch base on a logistics side, then industry trends, and obviously his personal experiences with his advisors. If somebody want to pursue career in supply chain management, how things have to turn around. So these are the topics which I'm planning to cover in this session. So without any further delay, let's start with it. Prem, as I've been already gave an intro, I know you personally from quite some time, but really audience would like to know about yourself from your standpoint. So would you mind to share? Can you tell us about your professional background and how you became a supply chain operations manager?
Sure. So, firstly, before start, I would like to thank for the opportunity to share my insights and my experience. And I hope this particular session will be informative to the guys out there who are really looking to gain some knowledge on this field or to really aspire their career in this particular platform. Well, so this is Prem, working in a leading e-commerce company for over 7.5 years, and I have worked in various fields, starting from customer service, quality, data analytics, machine learning operations, and supply chain management. So I'm into operations since almost 4+ years, and currently I'm a supply chain manager.
Great, great. So, Prem, as I understand, so you started as, I believe you started your career with this current organization itself, and you reached to an operational manager. So that's an incredible journey. So, while you have been transforming your career into the supply chain or logistics management, so would you mind to share what are the key responsibilities of a supply chain operational manager? And how do you ensure that supply chain operations run smoothly? Because that's the backbone of any organization who are in the e-commerce side, right? So,
Exactly.
would you mind us to share those
Exactly.
thoughts?
Sure. So to begin with, first we need to understand what exactly the supply chain or supply chain management. So it is nothing but the supply chain is nothing but the flow of a data or flow of a service with related to a product from start point till end point. Here the start point is procuring the product and end point is to deliver to the end customer. So here my team is completely responsible in terms of smooth transition of this particular service without any disruptions. So our day-to-day activities involves we deal with n number of scenarios, n number of disruptions, n number of obstacles that occur during this process or during this journey, because supply chain management is a human dependent field, and in any kind of human dependent field, we can anticipate problems, because there is no human dependent field without any problems, right? Because we deal with different situations. Today it may run smoothly, and tomorrow we may face a new situation or a new obstacle, and how we deal with is matter. So our day-to-day activities involve majorly on these activities itself. So service levels are one of the key responsibilities that we do have. So what exactly the service level is? So just to touch base on service level, let's say when someone has ordered a product, right? So and the online e-commerce platform, whatever it is, the e-commerce platform will give the estimated delivery date. So let's say if it is giving delivery date after 3 days, means that 3 days is service level agreement between that online platform and the end customer. So this is in a broader
True.
perspective. Now, in order to achieve these, we have different service levels within the teams who are operating on the supply chain management. So one of the key responsibilities for any individual who is operating supply chain management is to achieve those service levels, because there are more than 10, more than 15, or I would say there will be n number of teams that involve in the supply chain operations, basis the what kind of industry that we are working, if it is a small scale industry or if it is a large scale industry. And this is
True.
one of the core responsibilities of my team. And personally, I'm a people manager who will be also managing the people and performance. So I have a set of team who will be responsible for these ground level activities, and there will be my intervention whenever it is required, especially when there is any escalations or when there is any exceptions that are required in terms of decision making, in terms of giving the
Yeah.
exceptions to ensure the smooth transition of the packages or the goods. And as a people manager, my responsibilities also includes I need to balance both people and performance on the same manner, and it's my responsibility to make the team engaged, ensure the team health is in green, and have the collaborative approach with the team, understanding their concerns, delegating the tasks, and getting their getting deep into their aspirations, what exactly they would want to do. Are they interested, are they really interested in the field that they are working, or they are aspiring for any other field? So this kind of activities are also includes in my day-to-day responsibilities.
Great, great. Thanks, Prem, for the elaborative on it. Really appreciate for it. So, to moving towards the supply chain management, centric. Like, how do you collaborate? Because supply chain, as you've been rightly mentioned, your stakeholders are too many. From because supply chain itself starts with procurement till it goes to the delivery to the customer. So there, you might need to work with a lot of teams between. It might be a vendor, or it might be a stockbroker, or it might be somebody else, like in between who are people been working. So while you're doing this, how do you collaborate with suppliers and other stakeholders? And at the same point of time, how do you optimize that supply chain performance? And what kind of strategies or risks you mitigate while doing that?
Definitely. See, as I mentioned in the just some time back itself, there will be many. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, strategies. So strategy is one of the key aspects that should need in supply chain management, because this is a field where we deal with a number of situations. So if we faced a problem today and tomorrow we may face another problem. So first we also work with different teams, because a single person or a single team cannot handle complete operation of this, because we cannot invent a product and we cannot deliver the product, right? So we need to understand who is our stakeholder, right? So basis
Mhm.
the industry, if it is a small scale, middle scale, or large scale industry, the stakeholder headcount will go on increase. So for
Yeah.
examples, if it is a small scale industry, so they will be having suppliers, they will be having the delivery partners, they will be having courier partners. So we need to decide who are our suppliers first, and who are our courier partners, or who are our delivery partners, or any other. Let's say we are working with an ad agency to promote our business. That ad agency is our stakeholder. So first we need to understand that every team involving in this particular operations are working towards achieving a common goal. The common goal is to meet the customer expectation. Now what customer expect? Obviously,
So,
if I am a customer, if I'm ordering a product, or if I'm processing a courier to another place, my basic expectation is like that courier should reach the destination as soon as possible. Obviously, it may take 1 or 2 days, but I'll be super happy if that courier is delivered within 2 days. So that is a basic customer expectation, right? Customer will not think what is the situation of that courier, if it is whether it reaches in good condition or bad condition. One first thing comes to customer mind is the delivery time, because that is the primary service level agreement any organization has set with the end customer, right? So during this journey there are many teams that are involved. Now you need to understand what are your stakeholders are expecting,
Okay.
and now you need to make the stakeholders understandable that what you are expecting from them, right? So you
Mhm.
might have different thoughts and stakeholders might have different thoughts. For example, I'll just take a small example, right? So let's take okay, you also mentioned how do we optimize the supply chain management, right? So that it can be more smoother.
Mhm.
So I'll take a small example. Let's say I just wanted to start a small startup which will be responsible. I mean, the main objective of my startup is to do something different, like to deliver some essentials to the customer who use them on a daily basis. So, for example, milk packets. I'll just take this as an example, right? So, first I need to sit down and draw the resources. What kind of resources that I require? I need to understand who will be my suppliers. I need to understand who will be my stakeholders. Once I decide, then I need to start working with the suppliers and the stakeholders in a collaborative manner, because we need to sit, we need to understand, we need to do the brainstorming, we need to do the cost cutting, cost analysis, and everything has to happen. We need to come to an agreement so that the milk packets will be delivered on time to the customer,
Good.
right? So
Right.
when I say milk packet, customer will not be happy if the milk packet would be delivered in the afternoon or on the evening, right? So every customer would like to taste the freshness of the milk and would like to have the milk to be delivered at the doorstep by at least morning 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. So in
Right.
order to do that, I need to understand, I need to first procure the items. What items do I require? I need to gather the items that are required for packing, and I need to get the suppliers who can supply the milk or the raw material to me on time. When I say on time, I will set some service level to them, like by today end of the day I need to get the raw means here milk. I need to get the milk
Mhm.
by today end of the day from the farmers or from the suppliers, whoever it is. So I said them by 10 p.m. today I need to get that, and then I need to find out a courier partner first, courier agency who will be picking up those milk packets from me and start delivering the milk packets to the customers. Now, I may find the delivery partner along with the courier or not. That is a big question here, because few of the courier partners will provide delivery partners as well, but few of the partners will not provide the delivery. They will just send those milk packets to the nearest godown. When I say godown in supply chain management terminology, we can say it as a hub or a
Okay.
warehouse. They
Yes.
may send it to the nearest hub, and from then the distribution may happen to different courier delivery partners. They will then deliver the milk packets to societies, apartments, or independent flats or houses. Now,
True.
for each and everyone, I need to set a SLA, which is service level agreement, because if everything meets together and everything works together within the SLA, I will definitely have 90% confidence that I will be achieving the end SLA that I set to the customer. Like by tomorrow morning,
True.
6 a.m. to 7 a.m., your milk packets will be delivered at your doorstep. Now, this complete job will not just happen like that, because courier partner might have different expectations from me, because have finding a delivery partners in the early morning may not be that easier, because normally if you take any of the courier service, DTDC, delivery, professional express, or speed post, most of the operative times are from morning 9 a.m. till evening 6 p.m. So they will
True.
open their centers, the delivery partners will perform the delivery only during that period. Means I cannot find a delivery partner who is also responsible for other couriers to save the budget here. So
Mhm.
I need to find a specific delivery partner who will be ready to deliver only milk packets, no other products. So
Got it.
that is one
Got
challenge
it.
here. So cost may be higher, and the stakeholder means the courier partner may expect something else from us. So how we handle these situations would be important.
Great, great, Praveen. So, from your example, you touched up many points which I would like to consolidate and have some queries out of it. Now, you touched on some of the important things is like cost addressing or reducing cost and running operations smoothly or optimize the total overall performance kind of stuff. So, by considering all this, kindly help me out, like we know before pandemic and after pandemic, like before pandemic, uh, we have a lot of e-commerce portals, but even after pandemic we do have, but the people mindset, what I observed is been changed. Like maybe a decade ago, when delivering partner, when I order something online, I might get in a week or 10 days of time. But before pandemic also, like it might got reduced to a day or two or three. But now even the micro e-commerce portals has came, like a Jepto or Blinkit. There are so many other things are in the market, which they brought down time from an hours to a minutes now. Now when I order something in Jepto, they are been committing 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So which is a drastically reducing your total delivery time. Obviously they might have a different business plans, but at the same time the consumption of online ordering system before pandemic and after pandemic got increased a lot. Like it's a highly towards the top notch. Like now highest consumption has been happening. So while we're doing this, how actually people mindset has been changed. And because it's not only from the consumer standpoint, because consumer is expecting and one day delivery or today's delivery or within 1 hour delivery kind of mindset. So how you guys are optimizing in the back end to reach the customer expectations? Because basically it involves logistics also, right? Which involves how
Exactly.
you're going to keep your inventory and how you're going to keep your goods, and how much you need to keep. So many things comes into place. So by considering the user mindsets or consumer mindsets, how you guys are preparing for it?
Exactly. So, see, to answer the first part of the question, like what was the situation back then in 2010s or last decade, and what is the situation right now? As you rightly mentioned, in 2010 or during that time, if a product has been ordered, hardly we would see the estimated delivery date. Even if we see the estimated delivery date, there are lean chances that we may get the product on time,
True.
and that is understandable because there are many reasons behind that why the change has happened. A small example I'll tell. This is not with regards to supply chain management, but it is with regards to people mindset, how it change and how it helped the large scale industries to streamline this process better. For example, in 2010, I personally chose only COD whenever I ordered a product because
True.
in 2010s, during that time, the e-commerce industry or whatever the platform that deliver the products, apart from courier service, any platform that deliver the goods or products from one place to another place, or from directly the vendor to customer or supplier to customer, there are options to pay online through debit card or credit card, and there is an option. Still, if you see in India, COD is available because the e-commerce has now understand what is the mentality of Indians. Basically, I'm not blaming here everyone.
Yeah,
It's their own preference.
yeah.
Even nowadays, even I prefer COD sometimes, depending upon my situation, because sometimes I think I may use the product or not, so I need some time. So if the product value is obviously more than 1,000 rupees, I'll choose COD so that I can cancel the product as well after 1 2 days, and I don't need to wait for my money get back to my account. But comparing to the period like 10 a decade back and now, most of the at least 70% plus customers are now trusting the e-commerce sites and paying the amount before, I mean, while they are placing the orders, because
True.
they knew that if they don't like the product they can return it, and within 3 to 5 business days they'll get the money back. And if it is UPI, within 1 to 2 days they'll be getting the money back. So there are many things that are now streamlined when it comes to payment
Right.
options or not. This has somehow made the e-commerce job also easier, where
Mhm.
they can utilize this amount in increasing their manpower or implementing new strategies or implementing new ideas, right?
Got it.
Or increasing their hubs. When I say hub, again, it's kind of a go down, right?
Mm.
Previously, it might be in a decade back, there might be only one hub in a region. When I say region, let's say Telangana, in AP Telangana, Andhra and Rayalaseema. There might be only one or two, hardly one or two hubs a decade back in each and every region. Now we may have more than two, three hubs for a pin code itself. Means
Mm.
for just a radius of 50 to 100 kilometers, we may have more than five to six hubs. Now, when the when hubs are increased, it will be easier for distributing the packages according to the pin code or according to that particular area. Now, obviously, we can cut off one day here itself in the delivery time. So it's a small example I'm saying. So
Yeah.
many operations like these are streamlined. And how can we optimize further? Can we do or not? Yes, still we can do, because as you mentioned, now Zepto and Swiggy Instamart. Previously, if you order any groceries, vegetables, or daily essentials, we need to order at least by today end of the day so that we can get those products by tomorrow morning. But now
Yeah.
Zepto, Instamart, or any other Blinkit kind of any other platform, they're delivering within minutes because they exactly understood what customer is expecting. They're catching the customer pulse, because obviously if you're happy with one day delivery, you'll be super happy with half day delivery.
True.
And if I ask you that, if you would you mind if I deliver in 1 hour, the customer will be more than honored to get get those products within 1 hour, even if the products are not that particular emergency. I mean, not that essential to that customer, but still they'll accept, right? So
Yeah.
understanding what customer is required from us will definitely
True.
help us improve the operation more smoother than this. Can we do or not? Yes, in few ways. No, in few ways, because sometimes we need not to go too much aggressive just to meet the customer impact, because it can definitely affect the cost.
Right.
So we
Right.
need to balance both cost and the customer expectation on the same page.
Got it. And you rightly mentioned one important point, which I liked it, a decade ago and now, my personal experience too. A decade ago, when I order something online, I might not know until I receive it because I cannot trust
Exactly.
the online platforms. Like, if I order some eggs, I might get some white. There are some days. And sometimes when I
Exactly.
order eggs,
Happens.
I am not getting eggs also. Like, I don't know when I will going to receive it. But now, as you rightly mentioned, people also have trust on e-commerce portal, and obviously it's not like from the user standpoint. Also, I believe big companies has done tremendous work to gain trust from the customers by providing the right product to right time and with all options what they're providing, including the EMA option, including the cash on delivery, including the UPI. So there's a lot of payment modes, and obviously end of the day they are trying to reduce a lot of time on the delivery, so that's gain trust from the platforms. I completely echo that. And to moving that frame, one other point which maybe continues to my previous question. So when you guys are working very hard to meet the deadlines to deliver certain products to the customers. So how do you manage inventory levels? The important point, right? You may not know how many orders you get for some X product or Y product. So while you are looking into that, this is very challenging to manage certain inventory. So how do you handle those situations and those requirements?
Exactly. So see, in the beginning of the, if I start a startup, obviously I need to first understand what are the. So there are two things I'll explain. One, if you are starting a startup, or two, if you're already running a business, successful business since years. So I'll take the second example first. Let's say I'm running a business, or I'm running a supply chain operations since years, at least 2+ years or 3+ years, whatever it is. Now, how do we manage the inventory, right? So, because in order to meet the customer promise, obviously availability of inventory makes a crucial part here, because I need I if there is something customer ordered, and if I do not have that inventory, it will definitely a time taking process for me to procure that inventory from vendor. At least it will take from hours to days as well. Now each and every second or each and every minute here will impact the service level agreement that I set to the customer, end customer. Now in order to avoid this, first step I need to do that, making the inventory available all the time at my end.
Hmm.
So it again, as I said, it may or may not be possible all the time because due to the cost cuttings. But at least
Yeah.
we need to have a knowledge on what kind of inventory that we need to maintain at any given time. For that, obviously, the historical data will help us. Okay, what are the most selling goods? What are the highly demanded goods? Or what are the most selling goods for that particular period? Let's say if it is summer, obviously, I need to have the soft drinks available with me at
Mm.
any given time. Let's say you take Swiggy as an example, Swiggy Instamart, right? Now you wanted to have a goli soda, just for an example, right? If that is out of the stock, and if customer is trying to get the product, if it is out of stock, obviously customer will choose another online platform, right?
Yes.
Now I need to have the knowledge for this particular season or for this particular period, what are the goods that will be best sellable, or what are the highly demanded goods. This depends on the season. Now, irrespective of season, there will be still best sellers or highly demanded goods. Basis the history. Okay, during this time last year, how many customers have ordered what kind of products? Did they order eatables? Did they order gadgets? Or did they order something else? Or what are the most selling goods in my website, that I need to have that knowledge first.
Mm.
And I need to always ensure that those products will be available with me at any given time. For this, it's up to me what kind of contract that I set with the suppliers. It's up to me, but I need to ensure that inventory should available at any given time to me, right?
Got it.
So these are some of the strategies that we need to follow in order to manage the inventory.
Got it, Prem. That answers most of my question part. And just to heads up for the audience, like viewers, if you have any questions, kindly comment below. Definitely, we will come back to you with the proper answer or justification for it. Just a heads up. Sorry to interrupt, Prem. And to proceed
No problem.
further, you do mentioned some important points, right? You will be taking care of historic data and the trending from past 1 quarter or 1 year, and these are all more about data analytics kind of stuff. So to touch
Exactly.
this technology stack, so how do you use data analytics and technology to improve your supply chain performance, and what metrics usually you consider or measure to success ratio or success criteria?
So when it comes to metric, there are only two metrics in any kind of supply chain management industry. One, our cost. Two, the end customer satisfaction. Whatever the operations that we run will always revolve on these two metrics only,
Okay.
because this is the heart, this is the soul of the supply chain operations. If you are not meeting the whatever the service level that you set, again I'm saying service level is nothing but the agreement that you set with the end customer. If you tell that end customer by within 10 days I'll deliver whatever you require, means 10 days is your service level.
Cool.
Now that is the heart for your process or for your operation, and if that is failed, then it will be very tough to get the customer satisfaction, or get the customer back to your service again, right? Get the customer back to you again. So this is the heart and soul of supply chain operations. That is a core metric, right? And some internal metrics will definitely vary from team to team or organization to organization. Like I said, there will be a number of teams that will be part of the supply chain management, right? Someone may work for carriers, like who will be providing the transportation system for the delivery process. Someone might work as a mediator between supplier and the organization, who will be dealing the internal activities. So
True.
for them there will be different SLAs, different metrics. So these metrics will definitely vary. However, in a broader perspective, the key metrics are obviously how frugal we are and how
Mm.
well we are meeting the customer promise. So these two will be the core metrics. And when it comes to technologies, whatever the technology, whatever the technical skill, I always believe that these kind of whatever the technical skills or technology will come secondary. Primary is your strategy and plan of action. First you need to get the strategy, first you need to prepare the plan of action. Now why do we need to prepare plan of action? Because obviously we are working in a human dependent field, and we anticipate n number of situations, right? We need to overcome them, then only we can run this operation smooth. Now if we face a problem today, how fast we make a decision, how fast we make an alternative for that to overcome and to meet the customer promise. And our job is not yet done here. We need to
Yeah.
ensure that these kind of problems should not repeat further. We are happy to
Okay.
welcome the new problems, but the same problem should not repeat further. For that, what exactly we have done in order to
Got it.
minimize those kind of problems? Because that will definitely save the human effort, that will definitely save the time, and that will give us the confidence that next time if I face this problem, I have the solution ready. I have the solution in my pocket. So strategy and plan of action will come primary. And now how can we prepare the strategy or plan of action? Obviously day-to-day operations, by looking at the weekly trend, by looking at the daily trend, by looking at okay, how much percentage of service levels that I have met today. If I met 99% good, but where did I miss that 1%, and why did I miss that 1%? Right? Apply fishbowl technology of Six Sigma. Ask why until you get the final answer. And once you
Got
get
it.
the root cause, now you need to work on that. Now you do the modification in such a way that you will not face the same problem again in near future or further. So
Got
this
it.
is how
So
the strategies has to be prepared, and then obviously any technical skills that are related to data will come.
so basically learn from the mistakes and make sure it won't repeat again. Like that kind of
Exactly.
context you have been trying to set. Yeah, that's definitely understandable. And to look at that frame, uh, see, you are going to work with a team, right? Because significant efforts has been needed by many people because supply chain or logistics, a lot of people involvement is there. So how do you ensure your team is proficient in using supply chain technology, and what kind of trainings do you provide to keep them skill up to date? So it might not necessarily to be tech stack trainings, but usually data analytics or prism or any other, what the best suits for you. So how do you ensure that your team is up to date or skill, from the skill standpoint?
Yeah. So anyone who is part of the supply chain management, first they need to understand what are their core responsibilities, right? Because I may have some 20 people working under me or from 30 people working under me, and everyone may not do the same operation on their day-to-day activities. Someone might work with carrier, as I said, someone might work with other stakeholders like courier partners, someone might work with the warehouses, someone might work with the delivery partners. So then the responsibilities will differ in each and every team. Now everyone will collaborate and everyone will come together to achieve the common goal, as I said. So first they need to have strong subject knowledge. Here the subject means they need to well understand about their core roles and responsibilities, and what kind of skill set that they require in order to
Mhm.
achieve those core responsibilities.
Got it.
Right? We need to train them on the skill set. Obviously we cannot teach A to Z, but they need to have certain knowledge, right, on what kind of skill set that they need to have in order to perform well in their current field, and also in order to become successful in the current field, what kind of skill set they need to work on, how can they upskill, will that be useful for their field that they are in or not, that will matter. So these kind of trainings, so it depends on what kind of team they are supporting in the within the supply chain operations. And one thing common to each and everyone is act according to the situation, because you're dealing with a human there, you're dealing with a team of a bunch of people, right, or bunch of an organization or bunch of a team. Now you have a different thought, and that you might have a different thought, and the team might have a different thought. You might see something and the opposite person might see something. Now how you collaborate with that person, how you act according to the situation is makes sense here. And how fast you make a
Got it.
decision, how will you act according to the situation will play a crucial part here.
Got it. Got it. So now you as a centric, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and developments in supply chain operations? Because as you know, every technology or domain will have a curve, as a wave. Sometimes
Right.
it's peak. So as of today, after pandemic especially, I do see that supply chain has a lot of potential to grow. At the same time, right now it's in right wave is happening in this space. So how do you stay up to date for all of this?
See, obviously, as I said before as well, the strategy and we need the data to prepare strategy and the plan of action. So I again use the same data itself here. So we need to review our daily trends. We need to review our business daily in order to understand how well our business is going. When I say business, it is nothing but operations. How well our operations are going. If we see something can be improved, or if we see there are some loopholes, we need to immediately touch with our stakeholders, our suppliers, and seek their inputs. Okay, what are going actually, are
Got
they able to get the, I mean, are they able to get whatever they expecting from me, or I need to connect with the team and see what concerns they are facing, and they are doing the groundwork, so they know obviously better than me that exactly what's happening in the core operations and what are the area of improvements we can do further, right, in order to achieve this. Because see, it's nothing but our goal might be 90% and we are at 95%, but our job is not yet done here, right? We need to always aim for 100%. Just that if, just because we met the goal, we can't just sit back and relax, right? Because if that is the case, then I think probably we may not see Zepto and Swiggy Instamart today.
Got it. Got it. That's
So
absolutely
understanding the market trends, understanding what exactly the customer is expecting, right? Finding the customer pulse, how well we can go above and beyond the customer expectations is something. These kind of thought process will help us to stay up to date.
got it. Absolutely. I really echo you because, especially in the supply chain industry, the data plays a very vital role because, as you've been rightly mentioned, what happens in last quarter or previous two quarter, last three quarters, that trends will show you. Obviously, something which cannot be predictable might happen, but I completely echo you. Let's move to the next question, Prem. So, what do you think are the biggest challenges you faced as a supply chain operations manager today, and how do you address them?
So there are many, I would say. I mean, but I till date, to be honestly, I treated every challenge as a positive challenge itself, because obviously there are many scenarios where I need to sit in a longer sessions where I extended my working hours as well. We're explaining something to the stakeholder or explaining something to my higher officials about
Mhm.
any kind of escalations that may happen. So it is I won't say it is a complex field, but definitely we can make it complex if you're not act according to that situation, right?
Okay,
So we need to first understand the situation well. We need to have the strong subject knowledge, what kind of situation that we are dealing with, and what kind of resources that we have. Again, if I say resources, I need to have a talent of how well I can utilize those resources. If I do not have the talent on how well I can use the resources, obviously every problem seems to be a biggest challenge to me, right?
okay,
So there are a number of situations that I came across. Initially, starting from choosing a platform like this, because if you see my experience, I have been working into different fields, and any field is not interlinked to one field. Like
Mhm.
take customer service, that is completely different. Take quality, that is completely different. I have worked as a data analyst in quality, that is completely different. And again, into machine learning operations. So choosing the field, right field, what suits you, from then it will start. And once you choose a field like supply chain management, one thing you need to understand that you are dealing or you are working in a human centric field or customer centric field or human dependent field. You are not working with a system. Like it is not there is no specific SOP. Like there is no fixed questions and answers. There will be n number of questions, and you need to personally create an answer for that question, and you need to set that as example to others.
Got it.
So different obstacles, different disruptions, different escalations will teach you something, and how well you act according to situation, how fast you resolve that situation or resolve that problem is important.
Got it. Got it. Great. That's really makes sense, Prem. I would like to move to the next question. What advice would you give to individuals who are interested in pursuing a career in supply chain operations, and what skill sets do you think are essential for success in this field?
Well, so when you choose supply chain operations as a platform, first you need to at least have some basic knowledge on what is supply chain management, right? Because what kind of operations that a that a person in supply chain operations will have, what kind of responsibilities that you're gonna handle in supply chain operations, and you also need to understand what is the operations expecting from you, what kind of skill set that operations is expecting from you, and you need to also understand, you need to analyze your self skill set so that you can evaluate your growth in that particular industry. If you take supply chain management, it means you the name itself indicates that you are here to manage certain things. So you have
Mhm.
that empowerment first of all to manage certain things. So you are a owner of many tasks here, right?
Mhm.
When I say owner, obviously you should always willing to take that ownership whenever something comes. So whenever a new situation comes, it's important for you to take the ownership and take an action. It's okay if you have knowledge on that or not. It's okay if that might be first situation, or if you've already dealt that situation, that is secondary. Taking up something, taking up an escalation and working on that escalation, getting the resources, reaching out to different stakeholders, reaching out to different teams, because not every question not every question you might have answer, right? For not every question you might have solution. You may need to work with different set of people, you may need to work with different teams to get the answers done. But you need to understand that if someone else in your place will do the same job, there is nothing new that you are doing, or there is nothing scary that you are doing. So taking ownership, right, understanding the subject and deep dive into the situation will definitely help you to become successful in supply chain management if you choose this as your career platform.
Great. So, one more quick question in the same line, Prem. If I'm a fresher, if I want to get into the supply chain, would you mind to give some roadmap for me to the audience, like how I can start, where to start, and I'm not looking at a red carpet kind of an answer, but rather if you can shed insight, like you need to be more agile, you need to be more accountable, you need to be more taking risk of ownership, all that along with these skills. Any other guidance or advice you have for freshers, especially?
Definitely. So obviously, when you choose a platform, when you in the beginning of your career, if you choose a platform, let's say if you choose uh, software industry as your platform, if you wanted to pursue, or if you wanted to see yourself as a successful software programmer or a developer, you will be having some thought process, right? Okay, I may need to learn the development skills, development languages. So the same way, supply chain management is also one of the key domains, which is, I would say, most underrated ruling domain in the current society, I would say, definitely. Right? So when
Hmm.
you choose this as platform, first you need to understand, you need to do your, you need to invest some time, and you need to do some self analysis, what kind of skill set that a supply chain operations is required, right? And you need to start learning basics of those skill set. It comes like reading the data, understanding the data. Now what kind of tools that are available in market to read the data, to understand the data? Starting from Excel might be a very basic tool, but you need to understand, you need to know that most of the dashboards, most of the tools, most of the automated systems have started from testing phase, and the testing phases will happen in Excel itself, because that is a free tool that is
Yeah.
available in market, right? So starting from Excel, SQL, Tableau, right, Python, are these kind of skill sets will help you to read the data, to understand the data. Now, what next, right? As I said in a few minutes back, these skill set and technology will definitely come secondary. The primary is you need to understand the problem statement first. Only when you know the problem statement, you can apply the skill set to read the data and to know what kind of problems that your organization or your team has faced before, and how can you utilize the data to make certain analysis and to come up with a new implementation or a new idea to overcome those kind of obstacles. So see, this is in a larger perspective. And why I'm saying this, you should always start with the beginning, and you should always think big,
True.
right? So
True.
beginnings fundamentals, first you need to invest some time to acquiring those kind of skill set.
True. And one among what they can do is they can start looking at this video so they can get more insights about supply chain
Exactly.
management, which you just shared. So that one among it. Yeah, absolutely. I
Yes,
completely
yes.
go, and I believe like you did tremendous job, Prem, by looking at your experience. At the same time, you shared a lot of insights which a layman doesn't know what has happened behind the scenes. I really appreciate all your efforts and taking time to getting into this call and helping others to learn. So that's really appreciable. And thanks for joining once again. I really cannot say more than that. But
My
you did
pleasure.
really a good
Yeah.
job. And viewers, if you like it, please subscribe, share, and comment at the same time. And as Prem has mentioned, we do have a podcast on troubleshooting where people have analytical skills and the problem solving techniques, and a lot of things have been shared in those videos that will be under the description. You can get it. And along with it, before we sign off, Prem, do you have any final word for the audience?
See, yeah. So thanks, Shravan, once again for the opportunity. Obviously, it is nice to share my thoughts, nice to share my knowledge, because I always believe that when you explain more, you learn more, and when you share your knowledge, by end of the day, you will also learn something from it. So it's always a two-way learning. So thanks for the opportunity, and yes. So folks out there who would like to pursue career in supply chain management, I definitely hope at least this particular video will help you on how to start or where to start, right? So at least the beginnings or the initial steps, this video may definitely helpful. And like Shravan mentioned, there are many troubleshooting steps, there are many troubleshooting methodologies that Shravan has already made, and yes, he have uh, some good amount of thoughts that he will definitely put in future. So you can definitely access them by subscribing to Shravan's channel.
Sure, sure. Thanks a lot, Prem, once again. I really
Yeah.
appreciate for your time and have a great day. Thank you, viewers, for joining. Have a great day, guys.